Hey guys, and welcome to my recorded video for The Last of Us multiplayer. So this video that you're watching is one of the online matches that I did in The Last of Us multiplayer. So this side of things is basically the type of gameplay that you'll experience if you choose to play the online part of The Last of Us video game for the PlayStation 4, exclusively for PlayStation 4 in fact. So right now what we're looking at is my in-game avatar. And those outlines you see there are my party members that I'm partied up with in this particular session. This type of game is called Supply Raid, so as you just saw, I just raided supplies that are left out on the field or map. So right now I'm just making slow movements around the map, and as you can see there's a red dot in the top left corner that meant that a opponent was coming toward me. What I've just done there is down them and used a special execution which reaps you more parts. Now parts are things that you can use in the in-game store to purchase armor or more ammo or upgrades to your weapons. So unfortunately I got down because one of the opposition came around the corner, but I'm being revived by a person who actually helped me a lot during this match, Bango Fett. So I've managed to be revived and healed up, and I'm just switching now. As you can see, I use my avatar to actually guide one of my party members around behind this wall. That's because it just pulls us into cover, which is just smart gameplay when you're doing online. So also just reloading my weapon. So right now on this screen, if you've played The Last of Us single player, you'll know that that is the crafting screen. So I just crafted myself some items to use in the actual match. You would have also noticed I got parts for that. So depending on the skills that you can apply to your character, you can get more parts that of course allow you to buy more buffs the longer the match goes on. What I just did there was drop one of the bombs that I crafted. And what that does is it basically acts as a proximity mine, so you can see one ahead of me also dropped by one of my party members. So I'm just doing more raids on supplies on the field. And now I'm just making sure that I've used as much as I could in terms of the supplies I've already got. Now towards the left again, just under the radar, you'll note some outlines of bodies and also some numbers. What that means is the bodies that aren't crossed out are active players on the field, and the number underneath is how many spawns each team has left. So right now we both have 4 active players with 18 spawns left. Now those 18 spawns actually apply to every person, so a person can actually use more spawns than the rest of their squad depending on how often they died. So just down to character there, and so this map is actually from the DLC or downloadable content that came to the PlayStation 3. So I myself didn't have a chance to actually play it, so this is fairly new to me. I actually had a few matches before this particular match, so you know I kind of get the outline of it. I actually really enjoy this map because it's one that actually has pretty much 3 direct channels, so there is a left, a right and a center. Now what you notice I do when I drop an arrow over the top of an opposition member is that's called marking. Now when you mark, it actually shows the rest of your party where players may actually be on the map. Of course most of the time those players are right in front of you, but sometimes they do run off to the side. Again, that can actually be buffed by a skill you have, where it can actually, it lasts a lot longer, and it also makes them glow like how your party members glow on your screen. Now the reason I didn't go out and revive that player was I actually noticed 2 quick blips in my radar, so I wasn't too sure how many opponents would actually be around the corner, and I just didn't want to risk it, which is really crap, but I had to make sure that I stayed alive, so that's the reason I stayed there. So I've got out what is a new weapon that all players can actually access as soon as they own a copy of The Last of Us for PlayStation 4. It's called the full auto rifle. Now it's very similar to the burst rifle. Now the burst rifle could actually only shoot off 3 bullets and then it would fire again. Whereas the full auto basically just allows you to go crazy. Now of course I got downed again, but the buddy of this match, Bango Fett, is there again to actually help with the revive, which was awesome. Now to the right, you would have noticed that combat training come up. Now what that is outside of actual matches, you kind of build like a village of sorts. And so what combat training relates to is just missions you've given that can actually help buff your numbers for your village. And now what the village does is that basically kind of is similar to experience in a way, and it helps unlock accessories and items for your character. So right now, just doing so again. That's the supply for that you raid during the supply raid match. And as you can see, I've just bought more ammo and I'm just doing some more crafting. Now I tend to craft a lot of med packs, just because they do tend to come in handy. My second favourite item to craft is probably the bomb, just due to the actual the secondary function that it has as being a proximity mine. Now, as I said before, I actually dropped one proximity mine before, but I also dropped a couple more, I believe. And the thing is, they don't actually get used towards the start of the match, but they end up coming in use later in the match. Hopefully I'll be able to point out when they actually get triggered. But the thing is, when they get triggered, you get more parts because it counts as a down. So with this multiplayer function, what you really want to do is even if you're doing no party mode, which means you get partied up with random people, you want to try to do stuff that actually like benefits the whole team, because that actually gets you parts. So the reason I try to mark off opponents as quickly as possible is actually just due to getting more parts, and it does help your team. As you can see, one of our team members got downed because he was trying to come to us for a revive, but both myself and one of my party members, we could actually both see that there was somebody there, and we just didn't want to risk it. Now, as you can see, a downed enemy just came up. That's because one of my bombs got activated. So they got downed by one of my proximity bombs just sitting out on the field. So I've just crafted another one. And just re-armored myself, and it looks like I also just leveled up my guns. So that's what the in-game store, and that's what those parts apply to. And as I've been pointing out, is parts can come from a multitude of different actions that you perform during a multiplayer match. So right now we've got 4 people active on the field with 13 respawns left, and they've got 4 people active on the field with 7 respawns left. So right now you could say we're at an advantage in this match. So other multiplayer game types that can be played is interrogation, which is similar to supply raids, except to win the match you actually have to down enemies to get interrogation points, and once you've got enough, their lockbox will be revealed on the field, and you have to open that to win the match. And the other one is survivors. Again, sort of similar to supply raid, but the thing with survivors is once you are dead, you are dead. There are no respawns, and I believe it's a best out of 3. So whichever team gets to 3 first will get the win, basically. So the reason I ran this way is you would have noticed that outline glow of one of my party members. What I actually saw there is they were getting executed on the field, so I was just running over to see whether or not I could spot whoever did that from the opposition, just to drop down their respawns so that we could win the match. Now you would have been noticing from time to time the screen actually goes into a black and white. If you haven't played Last of Us, that's actually called listen mode, and in listen mode you can actually hear your opponents, and it outlines them on the field depending on whether or not they're walking or running. If the opponent is crawling, they don't actually show up on radar depending on when you catch them. If you catch them at the start of a crawl, you may actually register them, but also depending on their skill set, they may actually have a skill that actually hides them from your listen mode, so they may not show up straight away. So I just got an assist there, so that means one of my team members would have got the down on that guy after I dropped some of his health. And basically, due to where we are in terms of how many numbers the opposition has, it's kind of just become a scramble now. So we're just trying to rush them in. I just lost my armor there. And of course, one of those med packs that I'm talking about is about to come in handy. Now the reason I came over here is I knew there was a med pack spawn. So I just heal up. and then I grab that med pack to put it back up to max, which is super handy. So I'm just watching my team members' outlines to see whether or not, you know, they're reacting in any way to an opponent out on the field. Now we can see we've got 3 opponents active with 3 spawns left, which means once this guy spawns, yep, so they've only got 4 actives with 2 respawns. Now what's lucky here is I was running really low on ammo. I actually managed to pop a few good headshots and actually then get a heal. I revive on one of my team members, which was fantastic because that just gets me more parts. So I'm going towards this player to pick up. Now those blue outlines that you notice there, the weird little square thing, those are resources that are actually used for the village. Because in the village you have villagers who are either healthy, hungry or sick, and those resources help actually keep your villagers happy. So it's good to get downs because those supply you with the resources to be able to manage your village. So right now we've actually only got 2 active players left on the field from the opposition, and now the team is just scrambling. I'm making sure I've got armor and enough ammo to actually make a difference. So it's still low, but of course because it's set in the world of The Last of Us, you know, all the ammo counts. So I'm just crawling with my pistol and just watching and see. I managed to mark off one of the opposition, but then he manages to down one of my team members, so me and another team member scramble over to the building, rush in, and we take him down. Now what's interesting here is normally that last player can be hard to find, but he ends up being right around the corner. I had a 1-hit melee weapon, which managed to drop him, and I got him with a special execution, meaning we won the match. So that was one of my first no-death matches, and I was pretty happy with that. So thank you guys for watching. That's The Last of Us multiplayer on the PlayStation 4. Till next time, that guy.